Every candidate that announces that he or she is seeking the Republican presidential nomination gets this big book of rules from the Republican National Committee. In it are details of how every state in the union for the Republicans are going to select delegates to send to the Republican National Convention in Cleveland. The delegates will ultimately select the nominee for president. Most of the states, like New York and Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware, have primaries where a whole lot of people vote. A couple have caucuses, like Iowa, where only a few people get to vote. And still a couple of more have conventions, like Colorado, where only the party leadership or select members of the Republican Party get to vote. Again, all of the Republican candidates for president have had this book for over a year. It would seem that the people in the Cruz campaign have read the book cover to cover more than once. At the Trump campaign, they're using the book to prop up a chair. And because of that, Ted Cruz has been able to rack up wins in the smaller states where they have conventions and caucuses that require you do more than just fly in on a big plane with your name on it and hold a rally. It requires little things like meeting face-to-face with state party leadership and actually showing up at the convention or caucus. And that's exactly what Ted Cruz did at the convention in Colorado. He appealed directly to the assembly. He was the only candidate that showed up. So guess who won?
Ted Cruz gaining ground on Donald Trump. This weekend, he swept all the delegates in Colorado.
Colorado made 5 wins in a row for Ted Cruz, and that made Donald mad.
Our Republican system is absolutely rigged.
Rigged? I don't know. I mean, convoluted, yes. Antiquated, probably. And even unfair. I mean, if you don't have the money. But for a guy like Donald Trump who has $10 billion, rigged? Let me remind you that Donald Trump knew the rules. I mean, he got this book over a year ago. That's when you complain. How can a guy that's winning claim the system is rigged? I mean, if it's rigged, it's got to be rigged for him, right? For instance, just recently, Donald Trump won the New York primaries. He got 60% of the vote, but because of the way they give out delegates, he got over 90% of the delegates. Was that rigged for him? Look, I'll admit it might be smart political strategy for Donald Trump to rant and rave about the rules, because then it doesn't look like he messed up. It was the Republican establishment that did it to him. So when he doesn't get the 1,237 delegates required to get the nomination because he didn't show up in states like Colorado, he can say it wasn't his fault. But you and I know he messed up. He got out-organized and outsmarted.
This is amazing.
Look, Donald Trump has got to stop complaining and start running a more professional campaign. He's hired more staff and bought a teleprompter. That should help.
And I watch our police and our firemen down on 7-Eleven, down at the World Trade Center right after it came down.
A lot. I'm Larry Menti. See you again next week.